Hey YouTube, this is PokeDad, and today we're doing another deck profile. Lysander's trump card is banned, it's gone. So guess what? We're going to try to do a mill deck. I've had some moderate success with this deck, but I should warn you that there are two caveats that I need to give you about mill decks, this mill deck in particular, before we get started. The first caveat is it's pretty difficult to win. I have had moderate success with this. I've won more than I've lost, let's put it that way. However, there's two reasons why it's tough to win. First of all, your opponent can see it coming. So if they can see it coming, they can play much more conservative, and they won't throw junipers and stuff like that as easily. I should say most of the time. There's some that do still just play their game strategy and they don't even see what they're doing. The second thing I should tell you about this reason why this deck is hard to use sometimes is because there's 6 prizes that you'll never see. Pardon me, guys. I've got allergies. I need to get a drink real quick. Sorry about that. All right. There's 6 prizes you'll never see, and if you prize 3 Bunnelbys, you're probably not going to win the game. So those are 2 reasons why this is a kind of a tough deck to use. The second caveat I want to give you is, yes, I know there's a lot of variants to this deck, and I'll be happy to entertain any changes that you have, but just know that there's so many different ways you can go with this deck, and it's really hard to just cram it into 60 cards. So however you do this deck, I'm hoping to just give you like a basic idea, and you take with it what you like, and then just throw the rest away. But I have had success with this. Like I said, I've won more than I've lost. So let's just get right into the deck analysis. Our main miller, I guess you could say, is Bunnelby. He's got the Omega Barrage, Ancient Trait, and it allows you to use his attacks 2 times. So you can either use the first attack, which is Burrow, which is the one we use the most, which allows you to discard the top card of your opponent's deck. You could do that twice, getting rid of 2 cards. Or you could do Burrow once and then Rototiller once, which sometimes we will do. Rototiller allows you to shuffle a card from your discard pile back into your deck. So we use Life Dew as our A spec, and I'm just skipping right to here. It's very important that hopefully this isn't prized. You can still win even if it is prized, but this card helps you win even more convincingly. Life Dew, if you attach this to your Pokemon, this card, your opponent takes 1 fewer prize when they knock out one of your Pokemon. So we attach it to Bunnelby, they knock Bunnelby out, they don't take a prize card for it. So now they have, and then if we can reuse this a couple times, now instead of taking 6 prizes, they have to take 7, 8, 9 prizes, possibly within one game. And that the longer the game is prolonged, the better chance you have of winning. Along with Bunnelby, we have Ninjask, who is his partner in crime, I guess you could say. He has the ability Wing Buzz. Once during your turn before you attack, if this Pokemon is your active Pokemon, you may discard a card from your hand. If you do, discard the top card of your opponent's deck. So Ninjask is going to allow you to mill another card along with the 2 that Bunnelby mills. Cool thing about Ninjask is when Bunnelby gets knocked out, you can put a Ninjask up. He's got free retreat, so you can use the Wing Buzz and then retreat into Bunnelby. Or if you have 2 or 3 Ninjasks set up, you can switch into another one, mill another card, switch into another one, mill another one, and then retreat into Bunnelby, possibly getting 3, 4, 5 cards in one turn. We play a lot of switching cards in this deck, so that's not unusual, though it doesn't happen a lot. If we can get 3 cards in a turn, though, we're doing very good. Alright, now, because we have to discard a card, it only makes sense that we use execute, because we can just propagate execute back and then discard it. And we can do that for every single one, giving us multiple cards that are not milling our deck or not reducing our hand size, and yet still reducing the opponent's cards. We use 2 Shaman. This just helps again with draw power. I know it's kind of a risk because they can Lysander Shaman up and knock it out, but in the long run it helps. Helps us get set up a lot quicker and more easily, and so Shaman just makes sense in this deck. 2 of those. We also run Jirachi just to help us find, using Stellar Guidance to find a supporter we need. And we actually play Skyfield. Uh, I love Skyfield, and people are probably thinking, well, why play Skyfield in this deck? Well, the biggest reason isn't for the 8 Pokemon on the bench, though it is possible you could need it for that. The biggest reason is just to counter stadiums. We don't want the opponent to be able to use their stadium to their advantage, so we use Skyfield to counter that, and we play 3 of those. Like if we're playing Night March, that's one of the big ones, but we want to be able to not allow them to use Dimension Valley, and so Skyfield keeps that from happening. Alright, the next aspect of our deck, along with milling, is we really have to have energy disruption. So we play 4 Crushing Hammers, and the idea is if we can just keep Bunnelby from being attacked 1 or 2 times, giving us an extra turn, that's 2 more cards we get to mill for every time they can't knock out a Bunnelby. So if we play 4 Crushing Hammers, 2 Enhanced Hammers, because the meta has gotten now where, I mean, Mega Rayquaza uses DCE, Raichu uses DCE, you're fighting Pokemon use Strong Energy, Rainbow Energy is seen, Double Dragon Energy is seen, so we see a lot of special energies, especially DCE, and so we want to be able to enhance hammer that off just to give us a chance to last a couple more turns, because every turn extra that we last in the game gets us closer to defeating the enemy, to milling them off. Alright, we got 2 escape ropes. Those are our first 2 switching cards. I play 4 switches, and this is again to help us with the Ninjasks, get them into place, mill, switch into another one, mill again, and then retreat into Bunnelby. We also play 2 super scoop ups. That's mainly for Shaman and Jirachi. Late in the game, we want to try to scoop them up and keep them off of the bench. But also, we can use that to grab Ninjask if there's no other alternative and switch into another Ninjask. So it works as a switching card also for us. We play 1 Revive. I've actually thought about maybe moving this to 2 because, you know, if you run through your 4 Bunnelbys, you need to get 1 back on the bench. Or if 1's prized, this helps you get it right back onto the bench. This might be better. I actually prefer this over Sacred Ash, because with Sacred Ash you're just shuffling them back into your deck and you don't know that you'll get them. This allows you to consistently have Bunnelbys ready to go. So I prefer Revive. We play 4 Trick Shovel. Again, that just helps us with the milling. Now, we're really, in using it, we're getting rid of 1 our cards, but it's actually just 4 more cards that we can mill off the opponent's deck. So that's cool. We use Trick Shovel. We use 2 Ultra Balls to help us get our whatever we need. Bunnelby most likely, but also Shaman or Jirachi. Alright, we play 1 Colress. Again, because we've got a big bench, we want to have a lot of cards to draw. And so we're playing Colress. The truth is if we're milling them, they're going to probably go through their cards faster than we're going to go through ours. So it's okay to have 1 Colress in there. We don't want to be constantly using Colress, or we might deck ourselves out. We play 1 Lysander. This can be useful, again, just to redirect the opponent. We can grab something that has a high retreat cost, put it in their active that has no energy, and then that gives us a couple more turns. But we're not using Lysander in the traditional sense to knock out an opposing Pokemon. We're just using it as a delay tactic. So we just play 1 of those. We play 4 ends, and you actually want to use this kind of early in the game because you want, after your opponents use like 4 or 5 cards and maybe they only have a hand of 2 or 3 in them, so they have to draw 6 again. That's very helpful. At the end of the game, when they've already taken prizes, though, you want to try to avoid using in. Otherwise, you're gonna put cards back into their deck, and so we want to we want them to try to draw big hands. So in is early game, but late game we try to avoid that. We've got 4 sycamores. Regardless, we still need to get through our deck to get set up quickly. Once we're set up, then we can kind of slow down a little bit, but sycamore just helps us there. We play 1 team flare grunt, and actually, guys, I only have this 1 card. I would actually play more of these. I've seen some of these decks play 3, and that would be totally fine. You could change that out for either crushing hammers, because then you could have something that would guarantee the mill, or you could even trade it out for maybe a couple draw supports. But that's also a viable option. Team Flare Grunt really will help you with this deck. And with the VS Seeker, you can still play it a couple times. I know in one of the battle videos I did, this came in handy and helped me win. And then also, like I mentioned before, we play 3 Skyfields. Our ace spec is Life Dew because it just gives us more chances to mill the opponent down. And then we play just 7 Grass Energy. You're going to just be playing it on Bunnelby, so it's not absolutely necessary that it has to be grass. I don't think I ever attached to Ninjask. If I did, I never actually used his After Image Assault attack. So there you have it, guys. That's the Bunnelby Mill deck. I will have the battle videos, at least the first battle video, coming up shortly. So just keep an eye out on my channel. And anyway, guys, that is the Bunnelby Mill deck. Go try it out and enjoy. And leave any comments. Hit subscribe if you haven't, and hit like on the video. Thanks a lot, guys, and talk to you later. Bye.